Hello everyone. Well, this is my new book, 236 Interesting Lessons of Spoken English. And from this book, I am taking lesson number 183. Well, this book is going to be very helpful for the students who want to improve their communication skills, personality, and spoken English. So, well, this particular chapter, this is about simple debatable topics. So, well, I'm taking all the topics one by one. Let's see how they are going to put their views. Well, the first one is, out of these three, which one is better? Love marriage, arranged marriage, or no marriage? Yes, what's your take?
Well, all three have their own set of advantages and disadvantages. But if I would personally incline towards one, it would be no marriage.
But you give me the reason why no marriage.
Well, for me, it keeps changing, in every 3 or 4 days. It depends on my vibe and mood. So at present, it's just no marriage.
Okay, and what's your take?
After reaching my age, I firmly believe that arranged marriage is the best because their parents are involved from both the sides, and the girl's parents just make it a point to see that the family of the boy is good, and as everyone is involved from the two families, I think it goes smoothly. Even if there is a problem, the elders of the family sort it out. Of course, there are exceptions where they have some serious issues, but that happens in love marriage also. So I think arranged marriage is much better.
Mm-hmm. Since she has taken no marriage, she is taking arranged marriage. Let me take the side love marriage. I think it's a very hard to find the right groom or the right bridegroom these days. It's a better that the girls or the boys, they choose their own life partner. When I'm looking all around, I'm finding the parents who are looking the right match for their boy or for their girl. It is rather a Herculean task. Maybe the boy is right, the family is not up to mark, or maybe there is a huge demand from the boy side. Or maybe the girl, she is, when the family is okay, the girl seems to be a little more arrogant, or maybe she is not exactly the family type. So why to give so much trouble to the family members? Why to give so much trouble to parents? It's a better that they should choose their own life partner. And since they are knowing each other, I think they will find it easier to adjust with each other. Is it so?
I personally believe when it comes to arranged marriage, you talked about finding the right people or good people. I feel the biggest problem in arranged marriages is nobody puts forward a bad image. There is no one, like, how do you define good? Because everybody is putting up their best image.
No, but in that they discreetly just come to know about the family, that girl or the boy, from others.
Maybe discreetly you are talking. It is not possible for everyone, and I think many a time they are taken for a ride. Maybe the neighbors don't give the right information.
Right.
Maybe the friends also don't tell the right thing. So after marriage we come to know what sort of a boy he is, or maybe the same about the girl.
The same happens in a love marriage also, because during courtship they put up a very fake image, and the boy just pretends that he's so caring, so loving, and he can give all his time in the world to the girl. But once they get married, the stark reality strikes and they find that there is no compatibility.
No, but then I think in both the cases, what actually matters in the end is the time span. Like, I don't think people can put up a facade for a very long time.
Exactly.
Maybe maximum 3 months, 6 months. So both in love or arranged marriages, if you give it some time, maybe 6 months or a year, finally the image will somehow come out and you will come to know the reality.
Let's take the other topic. So next we are going to take that same-sex school or co-ed school. Same-sex school or co-ed schools. Yes, you.
I really don't know because personally I have studied in a girls' school, then for plus 2 in a girls' college, but after that during my graduation I studied in a co-educational college. So it didn't make much difference for me. And nowadays I think co-ed schools are so many in number that only a few missionary schools are only girls or only boys. All the CBSE schools are co-ed. So it's good. They have a fun time and they don't have any inhibition. They mix up with each other very frankly, and there is a good friendship going on. So it's good, co-ed schools.
Yes.
I believe the major advantage of studying in a co-ed school is, when you don't know anything close up, there's this whole idea in your head of how great that is. So I feel if boys and girls study together, they see each other. So this whole idea in their head of how great the opposite gender is completely vanishes. You see how ordinary the other person is. So I believe that is one advantage. Or maybe if you are in a girls or boys school, you are surrounded by the same gender. So you have not interacted with the opposite gender. So you have this very high image of the other gender, which sooner or later, bursts.
Okay, just for the discussion sake, let me take the side of boys' school and a girls' school. In a co-ed, what happened that there are certain boys in all the classes you might see. They are very unruly. They are very, you can say, ill-mannered, and they pass all sorts of nasty comments on the girls. And many a time, girls find it very hard to tolerate them. And these days, the families, they are so powerful, or maybe these bad elements, they are so very powerful that this school authority, they find it hard to take any action against them. So maybe from the safety point of view, or maybe for the betterment of girls, that they feel safe, they lead a normal life, they should study in a girls' school.
Well, I do agree with you, but I'd also like to point out, if you look at the numbers, it is actually true, in all boys' school or in all girls' school, the incidence of ragging is actually more. Usually you'll see, there are girls bullying other girls more, there are boys bullying other boys more. So when there's the same gender studying together, it's not that there isn't cases of, bullying each other.
Yes, quite right. Okay, now the next one is Bollywood movies or Hollywood movies. Since you are very fond of watching Hollywood movies, so
not really. That would make me sound very snobbish, which is not true. I believe it comes down to the content. In the end, the content, whatever it is, needs to be worth it. So obviously, I do watch Bollywood movies if the content is good, if the actors are good, and the same goes for Hollywood movies or maybe Korean movies. So for me, I am one person who believes that language and culture should never be a barrier to art and anything related to art. So it depends on the content.
right.
Well, for me, I am a die-hard fan of Bollywood movies, and for me, the masala movies of Bollywood, the parallel cinema or art movies, anything, I simply love them. And even when I know that the plot is so absurd and sometimes the acting is so atrocious, there is so much hamming, but still, I love Bollywood movies. And I also like being a Bengali, the Bengali movies. And Hollywood movies I watch very few, very rarely. The very famous ones I watch, but regularly I don't watch Hollywood movies.
Well, I don't watch either. So let me skip this one and let me take the other topic. Well, the next one is science, arts, or commerce. Science, arts, or commerce.
Well, the politically correct answer would be whatever you're interested in, the age-old answer, whatever field you think is best for you, you're interested in. But in the end, the harsh reality of our society, even till date, is most parents won't let their children go for humanities. Like maybe even commerce, but not humanities. There's this idea stuck in everybody's head that there's no real career once you take arts. So everybody either wants to go for science or commerce.
But don't you think that it's true? In arts, there is no specific career for arts students. There are general competitions where arts, science and commerce students, all three of them, they can appear. So naturally there is a great tussle, and the students from the humanity, they seem to be a little loser.
I'll be brutally honest, I think people who do take up arts, majority take up thinking that it's supposed to be very easy. In that as well, I think people who genuinely are good at it, like the subjects, it's not easy. All those subjects, history, political science, those are not easy to be studied, So you'll see the people who do get good marks. So I think those people, as long as you have a talent and you have interest, you can actually do well. You can compete with other students easily. Maybe someone has taken up science and they are like below average in it, and there's a humanities student who's very, very good at what they do. Obviously in life the humanities student will succeed, So I think rather than the stream even, it's about your individual, talent and what you do with that skill.
Right.
Exactly.
What is your answer?
Well, my answer is almost the same. Actually, students or children here are not allowed to choose any stream of their choice.
Right.
Means the parents, the teachers, everyone takes it for granted that by hook or by crook, you should take up science in +2 and then you should go for engineering. And those who are really very studious and think that they can manage, they go for medical. But there are some who can never ever, who are not capable of getting through medical, still they keep on trying, but they never reach anywhere. And I think engineering is the most easy option, most easy option for everyone, because every year I see that in +2 they have had a terrible result. Their marks are very low, but still they go for engineering because there are so many engineering colleges in India that somewhere or the other they will get a chance. Actually, in arts stream, the career options are very less.
Exactly.
So that is why you face a lot of problem, because whoever goes for arts stream, people take it for granted that they will become teachers. Or a few who are very, very studious, they can appear for the administrative exams.
Right.
So, and in commerce, they get the jobs. And nowadays everyone goes for the better option of MBA, that if they do business management, they can land up in a good job.
But that's not the truth, like whatever you said, that is when someone is genuinely good at it. But we are talking about when you have no other option, and everybody right now, like me and my friend were joking, if you open your any social media account, your juniors, your seniors, people who have studied with you, every single person will be found in some MBA college. So it's like everybody, it's like a trend. Earlier there was a trend of engineering, then it has watered down, and now the new trend is MBA. Now again it will water down, then there will be some new trend.
Now let me also be very brutally honest. Well, I really don't think there is any career option in arts. Say someone has done graduation. After that, there are general competitions where one is very intelligent, be it any stream, science, arts or commerce, naturally there are jobs for him. But suppose he is a mediocre, especially in arts I am talking about, there is no job opportunity for him. Man, who is going to take tuition from you in history, geography, pol science? there are only two subjects in arts, somehow you can get private tuitions. One is English and second is economics. But suppose you are from commerce, at least there are so many business organizations there you can do the accounting work. At least you can get say about 10,000 somewhere. Say when you are science from science stream, after graduation, well you can join any coaching classes for teaching purpose, or maybe you can give the private tuitions. I am just talking on a very general basis.
Right.
But from arts, well, no one is going to take any. अजीब पागल टाइप
कर क्या रही हो?
बहुत जोर से काट रहा है मेरे को करनी है
Anyway, let's cut out this joke part, and so that's what I'm talking about. That I think science was and science still is having market value, and then next to it is commerce. Commerce is also having the market value. Arts, sorry to say, there is no market value of arts at till date.
Since I'm an art student myself, I have to say something. We cannot wrap this up by saying that. Having said all those things, for people who genuinely like arts, people who are good at social science, people like me maybe. So if you're genuinely good at it, you will somehow manage to do something great, even if you do take up arts. So it does depend on your talent.
Right. That's what I told right in the beginning.
Yeah.
When you are pretty good at any of the streams,
Right.
actually there are jobs for you. You can earn. Okay, now next one is boarding life or day scholar life. Boarding life or day scholar life. Well, you have not lived the boarding life.
Right.
Still, what's your take?
I feel maybe as much I've seen around me or seen examples, maybe boarding life is better. I feel from a very young age it teaches you how to be self-reliant, get things done on your own. And I feel you get to learn a lot about the world very early on in life. And I feel that is one of the, also you learn discipline very early on in your life. And I think that is important.
Exactly. And I think you have lived in hostel. So
actually I have been a day scholar in my school life, and I went to a hostel in my college life. So whatever I have seen in my school life, I think in school life one should not be in a boarding, because at that tender age students or rather children should be with their parents, and so many of them I find they become very selfish, very rude, and they don't pay proper attention to studies, although they have the strict stipulated time study hour and all, but still because they are away from home maybe they don't feel like that. But once in life one should be in a hostel or a boarding, and college life is the perfect time when you should live in a hostel, because you can enjoy your life, you can become self-reliant as she said, you can get new friends, you can explore the world, and you can become very independent. And all the fun that you have during those days, they live on with you forever. And plus you learn not to be fussy about eating, about sleeping anywhere, about using anyone's house or going anywhere, sharing things with others. So all this you learn in a hostel. After that you don't face any problem. Whatever you get, you eat, and you don't make a fuss of everything. So that's a perfect thing.
Right. I think one should have the experience of both boarding school as well as day scholar life. Okay, now next one is same sex friend or opposite sex friend.
Well, it's hard for me to say because I have never had any opposite sex friend. Of course, I had the known persons in my growing up years, but they were not actually friends. So I have always had girls as my friends. So I think I was more free, more casual, and more at home with them. always.
Hmm.
What about you?
I think both are okay. It all depends what sort of rapport you are having with both the sexes. So I think it's nothing like same sex friend or opposite sex friend. Both are okay.
How about we add a third category, no friends?
Okay.
Neither.
Okay, you speak then.
As a joke, I mean, in the end, it depends on your nature, Gender, in the present time, gender does not really matter. It just depends on how well you get along with the other person, irrespective of their gender.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then next one is rented house or own house. Hmm. Okay, you start.
I suppose to start on this, I mean,
Okay, let me tell you that I have lived in both. Means I have lived in a rented house. To be very precise, three. I have lived in my dad's quarter that was provided by the railways. Then I have lived in a rented house when we came to Ranchi, and now I have my own house. And all have their pros and cons, but rented houses can be a big trouble. Because if you don't get a good landlord, then he will keep on poking his nose in all affairs, and in rented houses usually there are problems like water, electricity and many other things, seepage and all that. And in your own house you can live in any way you want, you can do whatever you feel like, and you can decorate your house, your garden. Means you are at liberty to do anything you wish. And I think quarter life was very good because there was no tension, and during our childhood the quarters used to be very big, and there was 24 hours electricity and water, and the colony used to be very peaceful. So I enjoyed that a lot.
Actually, these days the trend of flats have come, and I think even if a rented flat is there, it is much better. In the sense, when we are living in our own house, so whenever we face any problem, maybe there is no electricity, maybe there is water crisis or any such thing like that. So you have to run from here to there. You go through a lot of problems. You face a lot of headaches. But say when you are living in a rented flat, naturally there is this generator system. When there is a water problem, it is not just your problem, it is the problem of everyone around. So the problem can be sorted out when everyone is responsible. And of course there is one more thing. Maybe when we have made our own house and the locality is not exactly the way we want, so we cannot change that. But say when we are living in a flat and we don't like the particular locality, well, it's up to me. I can change whenever I feel like. So rather, I would go for a rented flat. Yes, what's your take?
I also believe, I mean, for people, who means they have to travel a lot, or maybe they have to switch places. I feel when you have your own house or space, you're kind of stuck. In every decision you make, you're stuck in that particular place. That is not the case when you're renting a place, because everything is for a shorter span of time.
Exactly. Next one is business or service. Business or service.
I believe service is more of a regular routine effort. There's a same level of effort or routine that you get used to, and there's no headache on your end of the top level losses or financial struggles. It is your job to go do your work, get your paycheck, and then come back. Obviously it has its own demerits as well. As far as business is concerned, I feel it requires a lot more than that, because it is not a routine job. There is a lot of fluctuation. There are days when you have huge workload. There are days when you do not have work. But in the end, business, the amount of effort it requires, it also gives you the same amount of success as well. So it all depends on your individual input, how much you're able to put in. And I also believe there is a myth with business. A lot of people say this. Like once someone has established a business, later on if you have kids and then their grandkids, it is all safe, it all goes in the family. I believe even the biggest of business people, if their sons and daughters are not good enough, are not capable enough, the whole business can come down. So it's not that you can just pass on your business to your sons and daughters. They need to have that equal amount of talent in them to put through.
Maybe I'm just talking like a typical Indian, but I feel when you are in a government job, great. But when you are in a private job, you have to go through a lot of, you can say, tension. You are always loaded with lots of responsibilities. You can see the persons who work in MNC. When they leave their house at 7:30 or 8 and there is no fixed time for returning. They are always overloaded with the work. Of course, they might be getting a handsome pay package, but sort of stress they go through, is it worth?
But then for government job, I have read many reviews just a day back. And I feel this whole thing of no workload, I feel that is not completely true. I feel people who work in the government sector also have their own struggles as well. It's not completely like you're just relaxed. There's this notion, you do not have to work. I don't believe it's true. Many people go into that line because of this,
myth.
Yeah, which is not true.
Okay.
I fully agree with her, because in business is a sort of gamble. If it works out well, it's fine, but you don't know till how many years, and everyone can't become an Ambani or Tata. And at least you have a job security. When you're working somewhere, you're in service, you will get this particular fixed amount and you can get your leave, holidays. But when you are in business, though it is your own organization, own business, but still you can't take leave. So there is a lot of tension too. So I think service is better.
I'd actually like to add their example, both of their example as well. Many people think that both of them run their own organization, institutions. So it is such an easy task. You just open an institution, you just open a school, and you are the main person. You get all the money, and the truth is so far from that. Just the fact of opening your own institution, for so many years I've seen them, it requires so much more hard work than just working somewhere, because all the pressure, it all falls on you. So you must be very, very hardworking, to actually be someone who runs a business or an organization.
You have to be very tough.
Right.
And you get criticized so much that at times you just feel that you are just breaking them.
Actually, this corona thing, that really shattered all my concept about being self-dependent. Because for the last 3 years, we didn't earn a penny. We were at the dead end. So had we been in any job, at least we won't be facing this problem. So I think service is much better than running the own organization, especially when the wind is blowing completely against you. So actually we have already taken so many topics. So it is not that I am going to wind it up. Let's all 3 of us put our views, whatever the topic we took. So final say, what would you like to comment? What would you like to say?
I mean, whatever we discussed about till now, we would love to know your opinion as well. We would love to hear from you, whatever you think about these things. Or at certain points you think we were wrong or you think something different. So please let us know in the comments.
All the topics that we took may seem to be very simple or common, but deep down inside you will find that you need to think a lot about these, and everyone must be having his or her own thoughts, own opinion about these things. And so it would be good if you sit together, maybe in your family, in your friend circle, and discuss about these things, so that you come to know what others think about these simple things of life.
Right.
Those are very important, of course.
Well, since they have already given their opinion, so I would like to talk about this book only. Well, there are 236 interesting lessons of spoken English. So there are 236 lessons. This was just one chapter I am talking about. The students who are keen to improve their English, I think this book is going to be quite helpful for you. Well, this book is available on Amazon, Flipkart, Notion Press. So here we come to the end of our discussion. Take these topics. There are so many topics in this book, and you also can have a discussion among your friends and family members. Thank you.
Hi guys, I am Vishakha Singh and I have been a part of Spenning. Learning English and improving our personality has never been so fun. So if you are interested to learn English, improve your personality, have a good command in GDPDPI, do be a part of it. Thank you.